From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE as your recon is becoming law with your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. In this recording, we'll go over that incredible recon, Build Back Better Act, which is going to become law in the next few days. So says Leader Schumer, and analysts, including myself, agree. We're going to go over that incredible recon that has many checks to you. The biggest payouts you ever seen in the history of this channel, at least $15,000 of checks. Lots of them, and upwards of $60,000 of checks. I'm going to go over every single check, how you get it across the board. In today's direct broadcast from Santa Monica, California, then we're going to go over the way to get holiday Christmas stimulus. This is money today. This is money before Christmas, and it's a lot of it. Average payout in the last few days, $1,000. Before that, $45,000. I'm going to show you how to get these massive checks in your hand for holiday gifts and more. It's all coming up in this recording. We're going to turn to student loan debt forgiveness, the offer on the table for that, fifth stimulus, and the latest details about that, plus answering your question about that COLA raise versus your SNAP benefits. A lot of questions coming in across the board on that. The Federal Reserve meeting convening today to announce the new Fed policies for next year. The latest on that, plus what to expect with the major final days as the voting starts this coming Monday and the recon becoming law shortly thereafter. It's a big, bold, exciting afternoon. I'm exceedingly excited for you, because the fourth stimulus is becoming law. The third stimulus is paying out your money today. And I'm showing you how to clean up with lots of money. Plus a new show coming to this channel that shows you how to make even more money. You found Money Central. You found the place to make money. It's here. It's LALATE. You had a great year with this channel with making big sums of money. And in 2022, even more. But we're still going to be missing bacon next year. We're still going to be missing bacon. I mean, maybe they can make that the set of the stimulus package. The bacon of stimulus package. Those details and more as we go into a big afternoon starting right now. Here we go. Your incredible recon is becoming a law. The fourth stimulus recon is heading to the finish line, and away we go. Very exciting details across the board. In this recording, we go over those incredible checks that are going in there, the set of changes across the board. The big money going on top of that, $15,000 of checks already in this recon. But no time or place to wait for fourth stimulus, because you can get your money right now. This is your holiday stimulus, your Christmas stimulus. It's third stimulus, and viewers are getting paid out an average of $5,000. Viewers on this channel have been cleaning up. If you found this channel, you're part of the community where people are getting big sums of money. It is LALATE. Third stimulus, I'm going to show you how to get those details. The student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that, plus what is going on with that fifth stimulus. Viewers are asking me questions about that COLA raise and the SNAP increase. I'll have all those incredible details in the second half of this video, plus my analysis of the situation and the latest details of what the Federal Reserve is going to do, plus a new show coming to this channel. I'm very excited for you. And if the new revamped crypto overnight show is any indication, this other new show coming to this channel is going to be a blockbuster. It'll show you how to make money, and it's about the metaverse. And with that, I want you to subscribe. Go onto this video right now and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. And with that, let's go into the big breaking news today, is that recon has become a law and could become law within 7 days of today. It's very exciting, and I'm going to go over all these incredible checks in this recon, starting with the very first one. But the totality of these checks are at least $15,000. You're going to see very quickly, it may be upwards of $50,000 to $60,000. Bring your pen and paper out, get them open, get ready to take notes, because I want you to get every check on your list of notes of the checks you want to get. And we're going to start with the first cluster. Hazard pay got in there for my earned income tax credit for my essential workers one more year. $4,000 of elder care got in there for my seniors. $4,000 of care for young children as well. The Pell Grant $550 check for the college student got in there. The money to repair your home if you live in a low-income community. The money for the new electric vehicle, $12,500, and the CTC, the child tax credit for one more year, $3,600 approximately. And there you go. That is the first of 3 clusters. 3 add-ons coming on top of that. And the first add-on comes from here in Southern California. The illustrious Maxine Waters, she got it in there. What is it? It's money to buy your first home. Oh my goodness, incredible. She got it in there. She wanted to give you $25,000. It's just a little bit less. And yes, this is money to buy your first home. How do you get this money? I'll go over it later in this video, but there you go. She wanted 25. She got a little bit less than 25,000. Let's go to the second cluster of checks, and that is where it really starts to heat up. In that second cluster of checks, we have in there the universal pre-kindergarten, the household tax credit. We also have the paid leave and the weatherize your home. You have to weatherize your home because guess what? It is the holiday season and you have to be festive. So if you're at the McConnell residence, you're already stringing up the lobster decorations. Lobster lights, lobster ornaments, a lobster on the meal, and lobster martinis. Oh, goodness. Just invite Ted Cruz and just leave me out. Let's get to this. Yeah, if you watched Ted Cruz this morning, you got that joke. I'll touch back on the top Cruz later in this video. Let's go to the second add-on checks, and it comes from the illustrious Bob Casey, who does not eat that much lobster himself. I don't think anyone eats as much lobster as Mitch. He wanted to give you the free home health care. He got that money in there, $250 billion. It's just a little bit less. Let's go to the third cluster of checks. There's no lobsters on the third cluster. They got in there money for seniors and the free internet. Also, they got in there the cheaper prescription medication, the immigration reform, the money for the farmers. The money for the lobster farmers. No, they didn't get them in there. The money for the free internet, and also the independent contractors, and the money for the seniors. The seniors is split across House and Senate. House got 2 provisions in there. Senators vowed to add 3 more. So the House members got in there the hearing and the Medicaid gap fix. The senators, on the other hand, vowed to add 3 other provisions, which are lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and vision, which is par for the course for when we're looking at MSC. MSC, what does that stand for? It stands for Multiple IRS Stimulus Check. And we use the word IRS because why? Because there's lots of checks in this recon, many, many multiple checks. But to differentiate this one, this is the one that's sent out by the IRS back in the spring. The legislators said they would give it to you. And at the time, we picked up the phone and advocated. And those legislators, again, told thousands of viewers it's going in there. Those 6 senators said it was going in there. But 2 weeks ago, I said to pick up the phone and re-advocate, because guess what? The ball is now in the court, in their court of the Senate. They now have the legislation re-advocate. And you did. Janet picked up the phone and called over to Chuck Schumer's office, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's office, and was told by his staff it's going in there via Bernie Sanders. Ron Wyden's staff told Donnie and his wife Sharon it's going in there. Chris Coons' office told Lynn Glenn it's going in there. The wonderful Bonnie was told by Liz Warren's office it's going in there. Bob Casey's office told the same thing to Tyrell. And the messaging continues one after the other. What are we talking about? We're talking about MSC. We're talking about the same eligibility as a third stimulus check that these representatives indicate to us across the board. Single individual, $75,000 less, got that third stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 less, got it. Double it. Family of 4, they got it as well. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, you get as well. It's not income, it's not taxable, and it's offered across all U.S. states across the board. But it's important to advocate to those legislators because we are not at the finish line. We are close to the finish line, days away or hours away from the finish line. And things change down to the final minute. In fact, the Senate parliamentarian is set to rule in the next potential 48 hours on the removal of provisions. If she removes provisions, then that frees up more cash for the MSC. So who do you advocate to? Yeah, that is a very important key factor. If there's more cash available that's sort of sitting around, they can reallocate it over to the stimulus check. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. That's who you need to advocate to by picking up the phone and saying why you need one or more of these checks. Use very simple language. Do not use the word MSC. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. The number one guy in that recon, his chief of staff, says LALATE and the viewers have delivered historical numbers. It was 3 million earlier this year. It is now upwards of 8 million. They have now received between congressional and Senate offices, received more contacts of advocacy for the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures in the American petition. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring of touching stories. Now they have a better understanding of what Americans are going through during this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories in the voice of the people across the nation, ULA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. Please continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy as the professional voice of the people you have become until this becomes a law. That is why you need to advocate to Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer by picking up the phone and speaking to their staff, and at worst, leaving a voice message. But you have learned so brilliantly well in the last 2 weeks, you need to give yourself some time to advocate for your wallet, and that's by getting Christmas stimulus, third stimulus. And viewers are getting on average about $5,000 after they got $45,000 from earlier this year. Do you want your bills paid? Do you want money for holiday gifts? Do you want $5,000 in your hand? Stay with me. Stay to the final minutes of this video because I got more of that money. It's coming up, and this is third stimulus. Then we're going to turn to the breaking details of that recon is becoming a law. This is the fourth stimulus and the programs that'll pay you a lot of money. Get your pen and paper out because you're going to pounce as a Purple Hawk and get that money before anyone else. We're going to go over the Senate changes really at flux today. This is a lot of breaking news. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest on that. This stimulus, I have a lot of new details about this because people are asking me questions about whether your SNAP is going down because of COLA. I'll explain the details across the board. Then we'll be looking back over what the Federal Reserve is doing at the time of this broadcast airing and what to anticipate for later this year. Plus, of course, the voting with Chuck next week. Those details and more as we go into a big second half. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. I'll be back with you as a big, historic, incredibly exciting Afternoons LA continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now as we go in the second half of a big Afternoons LA with incredible great news about that student loan debt forgiveness, all the latest details on that. Then we'll be turning to that fifth stimulus and that COLA raise and how it's impacting your SNAP. I'll be answering your questions across the board and what's going on with that fifth stimulus next year. Then we'll be turning to that Christmas stimulus, how you get that big sums of money in your wallet, average of $5,000, those details and more. Plus, the incredible details of that recon going to the finish line. It's called forth, and it's happening in just a few days. The final vote happening, that'll send out lots of checks, at least $15,000. I'll go over the Senate changes and the passage of the recon and how they're going to get it done, those details and more as we go into the big second half. But first, I want you to subscribe to the #1 channel in the United States for this. LALATE is now the #1 channel for geopolitical news and #3 for financial news overall. Subscribe. Go under this video right now and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member so you get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to learn about how to get these incredible sums of money from this recon across the board. And with that, let us go into the exciting details of this big recon as we go into the second half right now. Here we go. So that recon is becoming law, but when, how, what day, and by what means? Let's go over all the analysis and the timeline first. Leader Schumer's had two quotes that are slightly different in the last 2 weeks. His representations are slightly different. The first quote is, the Fourth Stimulus recon will become law by Christmas, which he means Christmas Eve, the 24th. The second quote is, the Fourth Stimulus recon will pass the Senate by Christmas Eve. They're very different. Why? Because the recon will get at least a word or two changes in the Senate, which means it has to go back to the House for a second vote. That second vote in the House could take a few hours, or could take a day. So this adds an extra day if he's talking about law versus just passing the Senate. Let's do the analysis. First, you have to vote on the Senate floor. Then you have to have a 2-day Senate vote-a-rama if he affords it, which I believe he will. Then you have to have the House have that vote, and that's 4 days. So when does he expect the voting to start on the Senate side? This coming Monday. And in a work week in which you have 5 days of Christmas on Friday, that gives you 4 days to get the law by Friday. He can do it. Very, very tight. Very, very tight. Now, if he wants to just pass in the Senate, he absolutely has a lot of time because he only needs about 3 days in a 5-day work week. Very, very tight. So when do I think he's going to get it done? I think he's going to get it done in the month of December. And I mean get it done, become a law. Why do I think it? Really, 3 issues at hand, and actually there's a 4th one today. I want to go over the new one, which is brand new. First, both conservative and liberal analysts believe that the recon will become a law in the month of December. Number 2, and that's very rare, by the way, very, very rare. You even have conservative analysts saying it's going to become a law in the month of December. Number 2, there are very pragmatic, intellectual, educated, long-standing Democratic senators who say it has to become a law in December, because guess what? There's several key provisions that we really rested our hat on, we were so proud of in third stimulus, and they're set to expire. So we don't want them to expire because it's too hard to reactivate them in the fourth stimulus recon. It's easier to continue them, which is how they're written. That's like the CTC and the hazard pay and the earned income tax credit and the child care credit. A lot of things that are set to expire, they don't want to do it, so they have to extend them by getting fourth stimulus to law by mid to late December, says Senator Tim Kaine. Number 3, there's a real new effort of compromise, procedural nonpartisanship, reached by Mitch McConnell, minority leader, and Chuck Schumer, majority leader in the Senate. It started before Halloween when, unbeknownst to anyone, Mitch reached out to Chuck, said, I want to have no more procedural battles with you. Substantively, you can do what you want, but procedurally, I don't want to have battles with you. And that is why the debt ceiling limit is done, the defense spending bill is done, and all is left is this. Very, very different than the Ted Cruz situation, which is out there. And even Ted Cruz has been critical of Mitch McConnell. Ted Cruz doesn't determine when things are done for the Republicans. He's not the minority leader. Mitch McConnell is. Ted Cruz doesn't want to have anything ever start. Ted Cruz doesn't even want to have ambassadors approved under the White House. He wants to block. That's not what Mitch wants to do. So I believe it's going to become a law in the month of December. Let's understand then, how do they get this done? They start the voting this coming Monday and presumptively pass it in the Senate by Christmas Eve. Now, let's see if they also get it passed in the House by Christmas Eve. If that's the case, then that's even more wonderful. Let's go over the incredible checks in this fourth stimulus recon. And what I want you to do and make a promise to me is you got a pen, which I had on set. That I just lost it. Oh, here it is. You get a pen. My problem. You get a pen, a piece of paper, and you start taking notes. I want you to make a note on every check you hear, because as a purple hawk, you're ready to pounce. Hawk, and get this money before anyone else, because it's first come, first serve when this fourth stimulus becomes law. No time or place to learn about it after the point. I want you to make notes if you have a question about something, because there's a new show coming to this channel shortly in which I'm going to answer your questions about how to get every check in the fourth stimulus recon live on air. Let's go over the incredible provisions, starting with the first one, and it is the paid leave. It's a lot of money. $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year, approximately. If you make $35,000 or more per year, it is $800 a week. If you make $15,000 or more per year, it is about $400 a week. How many weeks? Upwards of 4 weeks per year. Yes, so it's a lot of money. It's $5,000 to $6,000 on the high end. Now, if you don't work, don't worry, because your son and daughter, if they take off from work to take you to the doctor's office and they live with you, they get the check. All income levels, W-2, 1099. It's incredible. The next provision they got in there is a SALT cap, raising the amount you can deduct on the federal tax return of what you pay in state, and local taxes from $10,000 to $72,500. They got in there $40 billion of free job training, which is huge because millions of Americans want to take a higher paying job. And then they got in the Medicaid gap fix, critical for people who want that cheaper medical insurance. There's 12 Republican states that vowed never to pay for Obamacare, so they got in there the workaround plan. They'll provide years of subsidized private insurance to those low uninsured people in those states, low-income uninsured people. And then we get to the great provision, the best provision in the entire recon, you know it is, the housing provision, $150 billion of it. And it has 6 provisions, 3 which are brand new. The weatherize your home, the home repairs, and the first-time home purchases, more about that second. But the 3 provisions that are eerily familiar, the repeat from third stimulus and a carryover from the end of first and second, which is rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And the great news is you don't have to wait for fourth stimulus to become law. You can get it today. This is your Christmas stimulus. This is your holiday stimulus. It's called third stimulus. And let's go over how you get this. And first, get a pen and paper ready. And let's take it back a step to a year ago this week. A year ago this week, this channel that always cares about you and we care about one another understood that second stimulus was not going to become a law. It was the middle of the pandemic. So I stepped forward and I figured out how to get each of you money. And it was rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. And I said, the way you do this is you go get that money. And if you don't have to take out $1,000 out of your wallet to pay the rent bill to the landlord, the $1,000 stays in your wallet. And guess what that $1,000 could be spent on? Holiday gifts, holiday meals, etc. Yeah, it was very, very obvious how to do it. Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. And you did it. Tyrone and his family out of Boston got $15,000, paid all his rent to the new year. You won. You did really well. You were massive winners and had beautiful Christmases in 2020 because of this channel, as viewers said. Changed their holiday season because they found this channel. Then what happened was, at the time, I saw floating around a piece of draft of legislation. I brought it on air exclusively. And I said, this is for next year. And I'm going to call it third stimulus. I coined the expression. I said, there's a $14 stimulus check in there. But there's other money in there, again, for the rent and utilities, a lot of it, $47 billion, when we had just barely even $1 billion of it, a few million in second and first stimulus. I said, I'm going to show you what this is when it becomes law, but I think I can get you $15,000. And I said, the best news is if you get this rent and utilities in December, you can then deliver that same skill set. You deliver the skills to do it when third stimulus becomes law. And when it hit, you pounced. That was what bred the expression on this channel. Before there was an emoji, before there was a membership, I called it a purple hawk. To pounce, hawk, and get that money before anyone else, because first come, first serve. Knowing what the program is and getting the program, and boy, did you pounce. You clean up with about $45,000 in the spring. Then, over the summer, you got another round. But 2 weeks ago, we were back looking at a shadow of last year. Again, fourth stimulus was not going to become a law, just like second stimulus was not going to become a law, and pay you any money in your hand before Christmas. Very clear. There, we understood, you understood, we all understood, because we're on point with the news here on this channel, that fourth stimulus was never going to put money in your hand before Christmas. This was available, but viewers didn't know it. They didn't know that if they got rounds earlier this year for this money, they can get another round. And a lot of people who had never got it before, they had just found this channel, welcome if you're a new viewer, they didn't know that the money was still around. They thought it had been used up. So I brought it back on camera, and I said, get this money. I didn't know how much you can get. I said, get the money. And if you get it, it'll cover your bills, and you'll have extra cash on hand to go buy those holiday gifts, to go buy that Christmas meal. And you did. And you've had incredible success stories. The incredible success stories keep on coming in. If you have one, send it to me on private message. And if you send it and I haven't featured it on air, send it again. I had a lot of stuff coming in messages in the last few days. Thank you for your unprecedented dedication to helping your viewers learn how to attain financial independence during this uncertain times of hardship. Comes from AB in the tornado ravaged area of Kentucky. This message was before the tornadoes hit. She's in a rural area called Summer Shade, and her message is very important for 2 reasons. One, she got multiple rounds. You're going to see that in a second. And she wanted you to know that there's money even in rural America. She got 3 rounds of utilities for this channel, the most recent this last week. She got 2 rounds of rent from this channel, the most recent just a few days ago. And then she got that SNAP. And she says, in God we trust. And you, oh, very, very kind. Then comes Sandra, who says, thank you, LALATE. Thank you again. And I tell all my friends to watch you to get that help. She's from Kokomo, Indiana. How are you? Then we have the incredible Judy, he says, you're Jesus in disguise. I appreciate that. She got this money last year when we're talking about that, December 2020. Then she listened, got another $3,000 this week. And with that $3,000, she now says she's going to use the money to get her Christmas gifts. And she's now been telling her friends and family about this channel so that they can get food and mortgage assistance as well. She says, you're the best. I appreciate that across the board. Universal theme is the amount is about $5,000. A lot of people getting that number. 4 to 6 months of rent and about 2 utilities. But I'm going to show you in the final 5 minutes of this video, stay with me, how you can get more of this money than ever before. We have Tonya who got money as well. We have Thorn Diaz who got 4 more months of rent. We have Deborah who got 6 months of rent. We have Sean Meyer who got additional SNAP. You can always raise that SNAP, in some cases. We have Lynn Glenn who got this rent earlier this year. She got another 4 months of rent. Incredible. She says, never going to stop watching you. Love you, Lynn. She's on every single video. By the way, you must promise yourself to watch every single video every single day until this becomes law, because the provisions are getting changed. The provisions are getting changed, they're being removed, they're being increased. So you don't want to just show up when it becomes law, because it's going to be too late, because it's going to be law, and you're going to pounce as a purple hawk to get it informed of what it is. So make sure you give yourself that promise. Do not miss the videos. I know it's the holiday season. You're out buying gifts or moving around to holiday parties or going to Mitch's Lobster Fest. But still, make sure you watch every video in the next 2 weeks. Here's Robin. She got 3 rounds from one utilities, 3 rounds from another utilities. She says you're an angel in disguise. I appreciate that. There's Madonna. She got 3 rounds. Great job for Madonna. We have Kathy who says you're godsend. I really appreciate that. She got about $6,000. So she's a more higher in the mid range. Now we've had some people get $10,000. May Lou, I love her story. She got money, about $5,000, but she listened to my videos and she got more in the last few days. There's Melissa Justice. She got $10,000, and there's Chris. I like Chris's story. Why? Because he got $10,000 from this earlier this year. He heard the recording and said, I would have never known I can get more money because I got 10 earlier this year. So he got another 5,000. So get your pen and paper ready. We can go over all those incredible sums of money right now. It is rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And how much is it? It's a lot. Let's look at the graphic from no less than 3 months ago. Here we go. It was at the time 20 to 30,000. It is now upwards of 40,000. It has grown a lot. So where you get this money? Take notes. If you're a member, pull out the newsletter and follow along right now. If you're not a member, consider becoming a member, but at least take notes right now. 6 places to reach out to: City Hall, City House Authority; County Hall, County House Authority; State Hall, State House Authority. Keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. 3 musts you must do. Number 1, you must get applications on files in many places. Number 2, you must reach out to all 6 places. And number 3, you must get multiple rounds. You got 1 round earlier this year, like Chris, get another round today. If you got 1 round yesterday from one organization, get a round from another organization today. Utilities, reach out to all utilities to get this money. It's called utility assistance because of COVID. Do it. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $15,000. SNAP, money for food, you get from Department of Agriculture. It went up 25% in the month of October. Mark's brother-in-law got $25,000 a year because of his channel. He's now getting over $250,000 in the next 10 years. I have a lot of viewers who have gotten $20,000 a year from this channel because of SNAP. Here's Nisi and Art Sullivan. So Nisi and Art Sullivan started the trend to get 3 or more items. I told people to do what Nisi did. Now people are getting 6 or 7 items. Here's Mark. He was at 2 items at 32. I said, Mark, where's your 3rd item? He went from 32,000 to 50,000. Now Mark is over 50,000. And he is, lost Mark there for a second. Now he's at 50,000. Lorraine, she was at 105, and now she's at 120. So continue to get those incredible sums of money across the board. That is the money you want to get, and get it ASAP. And with that, let me turn to the incredible story of Johnny. Johnny is a 3-part story, and wow, it's incredible. It truly embodies why viewers are winning so much. In the last week, one viewer got $40,000 for rent. Another viewer got $138,000 for this family from third stimulus for the first time from this channel. All right, so let's turn to Johnny. It truly embodies what you must do. Number 1. Part 1 of his story featured Johnny. Listen to the videos on a Monday, and by Wednesday he had 3 programs approved and 45,000. Great, but he heard me say in the videos, don't stop. Get as many programs approved as possible. So he did. By the end of the week, he got 7 programs approved. Why do I like the story? Because Johnny had to make at least 15 phone calls, because you're gonna have some no's, and you have some yeses, you'll have about upwards of a 50% rejection rate on the phone. So that is why I like it. He got 7 programs approved. How much did he get in 5 days? $80,000. For that viewer who says, I make one phone call, I got to know. You're doing the right thing. Just keep on making phone calls. Number 2, he reached out to his family members the following week, said, I got $80,000 last week from LA. He says, I've heard about it. Everyone's talking about him. He's on the front of Time magazine. Well, not yet. And he's holding lobsters. No, I'm not holding lobsters. And the family members said, where'd you get that money from? He said, third stimulus. They said, I haven't heard that on news. Sort of like the viewer yesterday said, I'm just going to watch Tucker Carlson to learn about how to get third stimulus. Oh, great. You're never going to see it covered. You're never going to see it covered. It's like Ted Cruz and send you a holiday Christmas card. He's never going to do that. He's going to talk about it's going to cost the national debt so much to send you a Christmas card. So I'm on fire today. So what happened with the family members? He showed those 2 family members how to get that money by the end of the week. They each got $50,000. Incredible. Went from non-believers to believers. Then part 3 of Johnny's incredible story came in 2 Sundays ago. He sent me a private message on Instagram saying, hey, you know what? I've had people keep on coming knocking at my door. I said, what, for lobster? He said, no, to help get this money from third stimulus, ally. For bacon? I said, no, I don't have bacon. Neither do you. And I said, so what did you do for those 32 people? He said, I got the money from third stimulus. I said, wow, how much? He said, $850,000. I paused. I had to read it actually 2 times. 850,000. Yes. Watching your videos, making them as subscribers, going over the videos together, 850,000. So if you're not a member right now, go right on this video right now and subscribe and become a member. This is the channel where people are cashing checks. I got viewers $25 million for EIDL loans in spring of last year. I got viewers $250,000 last Christmas when there was no money for rent. And over this year, millions and millions of dollars out for third stimulus. This is the channel where people are winning. People are getting big sums of money. You want to become a member, get that membership newsletter that features first, the 6 places you reach out to, features the 3 musts, features the keywords you say, and features stuff not covered in the videos. For example, the 5 nonprofits, features the 1 nonprofit that helps with the home repairs, features the important statement from Treasury you want to read before you pick up the phone and call when they say, I don't know what you're talking about. Let me read you the actual letter from Treasury, and it works. Consider becoming a member today. That newsletter comes out Monday through Friday via YouTube and the LALATE alert system at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And with that, let's go into the continuation of the provisions in that 4 stimulus recon, left off of that housing provision. So 3 provisions in that housing provision are new, and they are home repairs if you live in a low-income community, weatherize your home across the board for everyone, and the first-time home purchases. This is money that would be given from the seller to from the government to the seller in your name at the time of escrow. Incredible. Let's go over the other checks in this incredible recon. So you got $150 billion of free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities in there. That is huge. Then they got in there the $550 check for the college students, the Pell Grant. And then finally, they got the $12,500 in there for the purchase of an electric car, U.S. auto manufacturer, made on U.S. soils, which brings us to the best provisions, Recon. The cheaper medication. Yes, Medicare Part B, Medicare Part D, the most expensive medications, dramatically sliced and diced and reduced. Day 1, 20 medications will be dramatically cheaper, and it'll grow to 30 medications by the year 2028. They cannot increase more than the rate of inflation. If they do, there's a penalty provision. Hold up, I just lost my breath. Penalty provision, can't do a penalty provision in the recon. Who do you think you are? Survivor Island? You can't do that. So that is why the Senate parliamentarian is set to rule on this in the next 48 hours. I know I've been saying she's about to rule for a while, but most people believe the ruling will come in from her by this Friday. The ruling is critical, and that's why it's critical for you to watch these videos, because she's likely to remove 1 to 4 provisions. If she removes the provision, it does not remove the cash. The cash will be reallocated. And so you need to know what provisions are out, what cash provisions, what cash is flowing into somewhere else, and how other provisions may get modified. Penalty provision, I think it's going out. Immigration reform, I think it's going out. Paid leave, I don't think it's going out, but if it goes out, it helps get the recon to the finish line and may reallocate a lot of money to other sources. Now you look at this graphic, 15,000. Yeah, it's clearly not 15,000. This fourth stimulus recon may pay you upwards of 50 to 60,000. I don't want to overshoot. You know you know how I am. I don't want to overshoot. I want to keep it on the low. But it is very possible it'll be 50 to 60,000. Why? Because everything from third stimulus continue. They got to 45,000. We have those three add-ons. At least two of them are already in there. And we have the Senate changes, and we're clearly over 50 to 60,000. Now, what are those other provisions that are in that recon? So we have the universal pre-kindergarten in there, the housing we went over, the Pell Grant, the nutrition, but the three provisions that are extension of third stimulus, they're live on the third stimulus, so you don't want them to expire, are the child care, the child tax credit, and the earned income tax credit for my hazard pay workers. Those are provisions that anchor why I think they're going to get this done in the month of December. Let's take a detour, just for a blink of an eye, to FIS stimulus, COLA, your SNAP benefits, and that student loan debt forgiveness. First, let's go with the student loan debt forgiveness. There's an offer on the table for the president. This will go by executive order. Forgive $10,000 of student loan debt. The Democrats should take it. Democrats should take it. The president previously forgave student loan debts of people who became disabled after graduation, people who went to work in the nonprofit sector and the public sector. This would not preclude them from asking for more money next year. COLA raise and your FIS stimulus and SNAP. Okay, so let's go over this. First, your benefits are going up 5.9% starting January 1. It's great news. Everyone's benefits going up 5.9%. Everyone's 5.9%. Automatically, you don't have to do anything. Now, if you're one of those very peculiar people, that's a very nice way to put it, that says, I don't want my benefits to go up, I can't help you. You don't want extra cash. Can you just sort of put it in the gift basket at the church? Because I don't know why someone would say, I don't want my benefits to go up. Over a year, we have fought for every tooth and nail for your benefits to go up. And suddenly they're going up. And some people say, I don't want them to go up. Well, they're going up. So if you don't want them to go up, I don't know what to say. It just sounds so peculiar to even record this. Now, will your SNAP benefits go down? Yes, because here's the issue, is that your benefits are going up, your benefits are income, and your SNAP is based upon the amount of income you have. Now, your SNAP benefits are not going to go down too much, folks. Don't be playing games with numbers with me, because you ain't going to win. Your SNAP benefits went up 25% on average nationwide starting the month of October lifetime. If your COLA is going up 5.9%, your SNAP at most is going to go down 5.9%. So it's not much compared to the raise of 25% lifetime that came in October. Now, are you going to lose SNAP? No. The only case you could lose SNAP is if you're a person who is right on the edge of initially ever qualifying for SNAP. Because let's say you do work and you also receive a Social Security check, and you look at that income and it's like, friend, you are right on the edge of qualifying for SNAP. The extra lift of 5.9% may put you over the edge to disqualify for SNAP. That is a very rare circumstance. It is not for someone only on benefits. Then what happens with FIS stimulus? FIS stimulus steps up and says, you have been undervalued. You're not getting enough for your benefits. This is where the guy who doesn't want more benefits is not going to like it. I don't want any more money. Yeah, just that strange person. So FIS stimulus seeks to come in and give you a lot more money. First, raising your benefits up one big time, and then apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation, which will go up about 3% every year. That means you're going to get 1, 2, 3 steps ups in the first year and a big new step up every year. And yeah, your SNAP benefits are going to go down because you're going to get a lot more money, hundreds to thousands of dollars more a year with this stimulus. This is why things are good, and you don't want to sort of say, well, SNAP went down, yeah, but you're going to get thousands of dollars more money. Let's go over to what the Federal Reserve and its meeting is happening today. So the Federal Reserve is meeting today to determine the Fed policy going forward. This video is being recorded right before the announcement. So I don't want to put my foot in my mouth and say, this and that. So by the time evening's LALATE rolls out, I will be able to give you the announcement and the formal proclamation. There's two ways they can do it, the Federal Reserve. One is they can tell you a lot, and the other one they can say, we're just going to leave it sort of unclear, which I don't think is going to settle well. What is that issue here? Let me just tell you the issue. When the pandemic hit, the Fed thought that maybe, because no one knew what this pandemic was, that people would run on banks, take all the cash out of the banks, like we're in third world countries in the middle of the war, and remove all the cash, and we'd run out of cash. That's called a liquidity problem. So the Federal Reserve kept on buying this thing called a mortgage-backed security to keep cash flowing in the economy. It doesn't have to do that anymore. Obviously, it doesn't have to do that anymore. So, but it has to stop doing it. And stop doing this called tapering. Do you do it a fast tapering? Do you do a quick tapering? That's really not what people are worried about, because everyone knows it's ending and everyone knows there's tapering. What they're worried about or concerned about is, when do the interest rate spikes come in? Interest rates mean, lending, everything, credit card, debt, everything goes up. And we have a lot of permutations. I've been predicting a double interest rate spike next year, with the first one in Q1. We will see what happens when they announce. And with that, let me go into the final 5 minutes of this video with my analysis of Leader Schumer, Raphael Warnock, Joe Manchin, and this incredible recon going to the finish line. A lot of brand new stuff, plus the latest details on that extra cash. A lot of extra stuff today. There is a tight time frame to getting this to law by Christmas Eve, and a less tight time frame, but still relatively narrow, to getting this passed by the Senate by Christmas Eve. Now, what is the issue at hand? That they do it exactly like how they're saying they're going to do it. Ultimately, the guy who determines when things are voted on is Chuck Schumer, and you want to see him starting voting next Monday. If Chuck Schumer doesn't start voting next Monday, you may want to be a little bit uneasy, because the question is, okay, well then when? Raphael Warnock, the senator out of Georgia who got elected last year, really sort of came under fire on me on social media overnight, because a lot of people were praising him. And he's a good guy. But I got to tell you, he ran on a platform to deliver your $2,000 stimulus check. He never delivered that. And then guess what he said yesterday? He said, I really like the recon, and he has been instrumental in getting the recon passed. I got to tell you that. He came up with that workaround plan for the Medicaid cap fix. He's done some great stuff for this recon. But he doesn't think the recon is a priority and wants to bunt kick it to January. I don't like that. And he wants to put voting rights in December. Voting rights can be done in January. This can be done in December for stimulus recon. So I'm not very pleased with him. Good news is he does not determine when things are going to a vote. Chuck Schumer does, number one. Number two, the narratives are out there, and they're starting, and you know what's going to happen. The narratives are hitting from really 3 different fronts, so I want you to be prepared for them so you know what they are. First, the Republicans are appearing on broadcast and media saying how horrible the recon is and how they think it's going to implode, it's never going to pass, blah, blah, blah. Ted Cruz on broadcast media this morning is calling it not the Build Back Better Act, but the Build Back, what did he call it? The Build Back Debt Act or something. I don't know, it's a strange, catchy phrase that he's good at. That was him. We also have a series of very bad people on social media who, if you look at their social media accounts, they're praising Mark Meadows for avoiding a subpoena. They're praising Steve Bannon. That type of group. So then I just started giving you in there. They're in social media and they're just trashing the recon, and they're sending out false narratives about the recon, and they're trashing everything about the recon. So if you see someone trashing the recon, just sort of open their social media account and see what they're praising at the same time. Yeah. You get a sense of it. They're not posting they're not posting cuddly dogs and balloons on their account. No. They have a very clear narrative of what they're talking about. Number 3. There are some people who are very, very nice people, and they're your neighbors, as one viewer said 2 days ago. They're your neighbors, and they may vote the same party as you, but they don't know about this recon because broadcast media hasn't covered it, because they don't watch this channel. And as one viewer said, I try to have this conversation with them, and they don't know what I'm talking about. It's like a foreign language. Don't feel as though you're isolated on an island. And that is what I've always tried to educate people about. There are 2 ways to be left behind in society. And one of the ways to be left behind is not being informed. Not being informed, not receiving a decent education on a subject matter. It can be the subject matter of how to repair cars or how to balance a checkbook. But in this case, people are going to be left behind when forced becomes a law, because they are not been informed that it even exists, and they don't know what it is, and they don't know anything about it. And so all they know is very simple things. They just know simple things like a check that comes in the mail called an IRS stimulus check. That's all they know. They may have gotten an EIDL loan. They may have gotten a PPP. They may just know very simple things. And so when they see this, they don't understand it, and they don't care to understand. My takeaway for you is understand that you are in a very elite group of loving, caring, educated people who want to get this money, who want to be educated about it. And there will be external people, even your friends and family, as Johnny said, that don't know what these things are. And until they really want to know what it is, they won't know what it is. All right, let's go to the extra sums of money you can get from third stimulus, that Christmas stimulus. All right, so third stimulus, the extra money. First one is look at your notes. If you got $5,000 the last 2 weeks, look at how many utilities you got paid for. If you got 2 utilities paid for, you know there's other utilities you have. So get those other utilities paid for. That is what Mei Lu did. She had gotten 2 utilities at $5,000. I said, get that third. She got a third. She got an extra $700. $700 for 1 utilities. I don't know how much money you spent on your holiday gifts, but $700 is a lot of money, folks, for holiday gifts just alone. If you're a 2-3 person household, it's a lot of money. $700 could be the big difference of just the holiday gifts. Imagine it's going on top of someone who already got $5,000. Number 2. Also, you can get different programs to pay for the same item. Here's an example. Let's say you got rent paid from organization number 1 for the month of October, November, December. You can reach out to organization number 2 and get it for January, February, March. That's the way you get extra sums of money. The way we tackle life on this channel has always been the same way. Getting sums of money, big sums of money, fast, quickly, to create financial independence. It started on day 1 when I understood that people did not understand how to get an EIDL loan or grant approved. They understood it was there. They understand how to apply for it, but they weren't getting approved. They understood that there was PUA and UI and FPUC, but they didn't understand how to do it, and they were not getting approved. I made those recordings. They were how-to, informational, educational, newsworthy. Third stimulus, the same way. Education, informational, how-to, newsworthy. Right now, same thing. Next year, it's going to be the same thing as well. Education, informational, newsworthy. Learning how to get the sums of money is what we do on this channel. Learning how to get every sum of money is what I aspire for. That new show coming to this channel shortly will be right at the cusp of this becoming a law, and right after becoming a law, going on air and answering your questions. So about the paid leave, how do I get it? Does the employer pay me? Do I apply for it? How many times can I go off and on paid leave? And what income classification, what type of worker classification, things like that. I'll go on air, answer your specific questions, just like I used to do for EIDL and PUA and PPP, because that's how you get money. People have very similar questions. I'll learn from your questions as I learn from EIDL, and it'll be a great time. We're going to have a great time. Meantime, a new show coming to this channel, because people have been asking me. I want to make more money and lots of it. Will be a new show about the metaverse. That new show will show you an altered universe that looks like a cartoon. It's a digital environment that you go on your cell phone or the computer to visit. You visit a website, and you go into this altered universe, and that is where you can engage in commerce. Here you see me at a boutique looking at a tracksuit available for sale. Here I'm at a casino where you can purchase stuff as well. And I'll show you how to make money in this altered universe. A lot of people are very excited about this. And the excitement is spilling over to another long-standing show on this channel that has been modified, and boys are picking up. The Overnights Crypto Show, which starts every day at 3:45, which is right after the show, this automatically takes you there, has been modified to now laser focused on cryptocurrency for the metaverse. Why is it easier to watch now? Because it's really about 3 major cryptocurrency coins. And we talk about what those businesses do, more than just sort of the esoteric. The coin is up, the coin is down. What is the coin? We talk about what those businesses do. And they work in they work in the metaverse. And I show you how to make money in those universes and how to make money with the coin as well. Meantime, join me with our evenings LA coming up tonight at 5 o'clock. Then at 6 o'clock is Evening Countdown. 7 o'clock is the new holiday street and stimulus. And at 8 o'clock is Sirloin. We're going to have a beautiful evening across the board. We'll have LA's to update about what happened with the Federal Reserve. And with that, I want you part of this incredible family. So hit that subscribe button, like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Have a beautiful afternoon. Stay informed, stay focused. Keep on smiling. Sign up for that membership so you get that newsletter tonight at 7 p.m. And stay with LA for more.